Tennocon 2025 has just happened, and all I can say is wow, there is a lot to speak about and a lot to unpack. And as you all know by now, Tennocon is Warframe's biggest event every year, where they will announce what they are doing and what their next biggest update is. And we have so many new things coming to Warframe. We are going back to Tau, as many of you already knew that and already guessed that we are officially going back to Tau. But you want to know what's the most important thing about this event is
Auburn is getting a rework.
Oberon is getting a rework. Like, seriously, that is the most important thing. Okay, I'm kidding, it's not, but it is pretty important. On another side note, since this is for a limited time, Soulframe is now completely open to the public. If you head on over to their website, link will be in the description. You can sign up and claim your name and join the prelude. This is only until Sunday, which is basically today, until 11:59 p.m. ET. So you pretty much have a few hours to gain full access forever with no account wipes and everything. So go on and do that if you have not done that. All right, let's hop straight into the juicy bits. I'm not going to talk about the other days of Tennocon and everything. I'm going to talk about the main event because, that's where everything happened and, all the new stuff came through. So we're just going to be summarizing what happened in the main event. But overall, the whole Tennocon event was amazing, even though I wasn't personally there. But I do think that it was still pretty cool to watch live, and it was quite an experience. Firstly, we have the Valkyr heirloom skin, which I'm sure many of you know by now and also have seen yesterday on the event, which is coming July 21st, which is tomorrow. Very exciting for people who like playing Valkyr. I'm enjoying her a lot after her rework, and it's a really good looking skin. I mean, DE knew what they were doing. Anyways, Dog Days is coming back, as it does every single year, and we have the Noodletron. I'm very excited to give the Noodletron, which is an overpowered pool noodle, basically. Warframe is coming to Android, which is on mobile. There's going to be an Android beta for those of you who want to play on mobile. So now we have iOS and Android, which is pretty cool. As they moved on to the main event, they announced an unannounced update, just like last year, which is coming in fall. I reckon it'll be the same as last year, being September or October. I think it might be late October when the update will come through. That's just my speculation. We are getting Lavos Deluxe, which I must say, he looks super cool with the skin. It's like he's a mad alchemist. It fits his vibe perfectly. I'm very excited, especially because I'm quite fond of Lavos. Then Oberon's rework, which is super exciting. We don't have any proper news as to what is going to happen with him. The only thing that we know is Pablo did mention that he's going to be given some new tools and so on because he's been forced into the support role. So I'm hoping that he's going to be given a bit more damage or anything along the lines of that. I'm very excited because, man, Oberon really needed a rework, and I think everyone can agree with that. And I wonder what's going to be the next worst Warframe after Oberon's rework, because he was pretty much there as the most neglected. Now who's next? Let me know in the comments below who you think is next. And funnily enough, something I did not expect is Rebecca revealed that we have a new quest called The Teacher that is coming in the fall update. And this is a modding quest for new players, which is really good. I'm actually very happy with how DE is actually approaching the new player experience and how much better they have made the new player experience over the past few years. It has been insane how much they keep working on it, and I'm hoping that this modding quest is going to be a huge help for newer players. And then we have a new Warframe coming in the unannounced update, which is the 62nd Warframe that is coming. And Pablo pretty much told us that he's just a fun guy, which means he's a fungus. We have a fungal frame coming, which I'm very intrigued to see what that frame is going to be or what it's going to do and so on. So we're going to have to see, of course, but I'm quite excited for fungal frame. I think that's quite funny. But yeah, Rebecca then moved on to explain that there was a bit more coming from the unannounced update and so on, probably quality of life changes, new player balances, new this and that, everything. At the end of the year, we will have a huge update that's coming, which has been revealed to be called The Old Peace. Now, in this update, we're going to have like a small little chapter that will unfold some other things, which we will go over in a second. And then it will show the main story, or the demo that they showed later on in the live stream. For the short chapter, we have the Intrati side story, which showcased Harrow's protoframe as well as Wisp protoframe, and she's a nun? Like, come on, DE, you know what you were doing. But anyway, Harrow and Wisp protoframe is going to be a thing at the end of this year, which is very exciting. And then we have also been revealed the 64th Warframe, which is Uriel. And this update is going to be pretty much the Devil's Triad, or this quest, sorry, should I say, is going to be the Devil's Triad. And that is when we're going to get 2 new protoframes and Uriel as well. He's basically a devil frame. Uriel is pretty much just a devil frame. I think he's pretty cool, and I'm very excited to see what he'll be able to do. He kind of reminds me of a mix of Varun and Chroma. I don't know why. It's just or like the Luminuses in a way. I don't know. It's weird. But he kind of reminds me of the Luminuses. After the Devil's Triad reveal, they then moved on to show us the demo, which we have all been excited for and we've all seen. But I just wanted to go over some things and kind of just unpack some things that we've seen here, which is really, really amazing. And wow, all I can say is DE is cooking with the animation team and everything. In the opening scene, you see this wasteland, almost like an aftermath of a war. We're then greeted with the one and only Excalibur Prime, who's the star of this demo showcase, which I think is really cool. I mean, it was just cool to hear the crowd go wild as Excalibur Prime was being showcased. This new tile set is, I'm assuming, going back to Tau as we know and everything. But as Excalibur moves through the landscape and sees the destruction of war, you then see Excalibur go into this arena where you land up fighting this giant sentient, which you saw in the beginning, which, by the way, again, the animation team cooked for this one because, I mean, look at the superhero landing. Like, hello? Like, damn. After you do some cool takedowns, you know, some fights and everything like that, you find out that it's actually your friend and it's your operator who was just play fighting, which is crazy because if that was play fighting, I wonder what the real war would have looked like. That's insane. We're obviously going back to Tau, which I've mentioned, and as we all know, and we're trying to find out the history, hence why Lotus is there trying to take you back to the past for the memories and so on. It's revealed to us the Oricon tile set, which I have to say looks stunning. We're then showcased the Tauron or Tauron Academy. I think that's how Rebecca said it. You know, Ballas is there, everything like that, and I just have to say the tile set looks absolutely stunning. It is so cool to see the Oricon era in this time and, you know, the time before the old war essentially. But in this whole timeline, it's basically when there's a treaty between the Sentients and the Tenno were actually working together to basically fight back before the old war, I think, either broke out. And then as we move through to another room, Rebecca then reveals that our next prime Warframe is Caliban, which is pretty cool. So Caliban Prime Access is going to be coming through. And then Rebecca reveals shortly after, when you're taking this random little quiz test and you help your friend cheat, that the operators are getting a remaster, which is why the operators are looking so good in this demo. So the operators are getting a full remaster, and we will also be getting that prime armor, which is part of the prime access accessories. I must say, I'm gonna get this because the new operator looks absolutely amazing. Once you're doing the quiz, then you are then called and moved to when you have to go to the mission control, which is what we are pretty familiar with. I think this one looks pretty cool. And we literally land on Perita, a town moon, and it's a full-on war zone with Dax enemies attacking you. And I think this type of tile set, like a war zone kind of thing, looks really, really cool. So I'm super excited to see how this is going to unfold. And if it kind of brings this open tile set towards normal bounties or missions. But I'm assuming this whole tile update is going to be a massive open world or another open world. So I don't know if it's going to be smaller tile sets. We will have to see. We are getting War Running back, which is a nice new addition to the movement system that we already have. So I think that's going to be pretty cool when we get that in the end of the year. I must say, again, the landscape and art team absolutely cooked with this one. Everything looks so good. And then we get the first look at a focus expansion rework that is coming. So focus schools are getting a rework, a relook. We're going to get new focus abilities and so on. And we're also getting ultimates, which Rebecca teased. And we also get our first look at the Naramon ultimate, which holds this giant sword that sends out a wave of destruction. It looks so good. I'm very curious as to what the other focus schools ultimates would look like and what they would do. Obviously Madarai would be like probably pure destruction as well, but Inari might be like a support, or Vazrin might be a support thing, but we'll have to see closer to the time. At the end of the demo, you basically fight this corrupted sentient spider friend thing that you actually land up killing you because it's corrupted and it would have killed you, and it makes your friend upset, which is Aiden. So this is obviously reliving a memory and going back to the past. That's the point of the whole quest, so basically the introduction to this whole new storyline that Warframe is about to unfold in this universe. But my thoughts about this is it's either going to be you're going back to how the old war actually started, or it's going back to change the past. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It's just my speculation. We don't know much, but especially since we are still in the Entrati labs with Lloyd and Lotus and Mr. Wily himself still messing with us, It's going to be very exciting. And for all the lore nerds out there, I know you guys are literally quaking because you guys are super excited, as this is going to start unfolding a lot of lore, and it's very exciting for you guys. I can understand. But Warframe is really going through the multiverse shit. It's crazy. To kind of sum up everything that's going on, we're getting a new Warframe, 2 new protoframes, a prime Warframe, a whole new update, a Tau expansion, a new movement system, new focus schools, operator reworks. There is quite a bit coming to this game, and not to mention all the other smaller updates, hot fixes, and everything that's coming along the way. They did confirm that only in 2026 is when we will be going back to the Tau that we basically left behind. So the 2025 end of the year update is going to be pretty much an introduction, and then 2026 we're going to be going back to one that we left behind, which kind of says to me that something's going to happen in this update, and then we're going back to the aftermath. That's pretty much where the Tau update or expansion is going to kind of end off in 2026. But again, we will see. It's very early days. I'm very excited. We are basically going into a whole new era in Warframe. Again, just like Warframe 1999, it's a whole new era. So there is a lot. And that is pretty much everything you need to know about Tennocon and what is coming to Warframe. Let's just quickly talk about Soulframe. I wanted to leave us to the end here because I know many of you will just be coming to this video for Tennocon itself, but I do want to talk about Soulframe because Soulframe is looking really good. The last time I played, I think, was like the second or third build of the Prelude when they first released it, and I haven't played since. And now that I've watched this update, and I can't, because I wanted to give it some time to cook before I came back and thought, okay, maybe it's time to make some content on it or play it myself. And I have to say, everything is looking stunning. The combat does look a little bit better. Everything looks a little bit better. The sound looks amazing. The artwork looks amazing. I love the vibe, and I'm so excited for what is to come for this game and how they're going to develop it in the years to come, because I think this game has a ridiculous amount of potential, and I'm very excited for that. There is one small rant which I would like to go on. Some of you may not agree with me, but this is my take on it. But I do want to preface this before I say this, that I do think that at the end of the day, it is what Digital Extremes, or Steve and them, the team that is working on Soulframe, it's what they want for the game. So what I might suggest or what I want for the game may not be what they want, so that's fine. That's their game. My thing is, I think Soulframe has the potential and the foundation to have a fantastic game for great bosses. What I mean by that is actually thought out, choreographed, difficult bosses where it's normal for you to fail and mess up and figure out a boss fight multiple times so that you can come through and take different approaches and try and find out different ways to kill the boss and eventually come out on top and get the rewards. I don't know why, but it just seems like with Warframe and Soulframe, the bosses seem too easy. That's just me. In essence, I'm looking for something similar to a Souls-like game, but I don't want them to make a Souls-like game. That sounds like, oh, that's a bit much to ask, which I can completely understand. But what I'm trying to say is a healthy balance of difficulty and challenging, but also keeping it to a level that's not like Souls, so it's not too difficult for the casual player. What I'm basically looking for is creating well thought out bosses in terms of the mechanics and difficulty, because they do everything so well. They make the bosses look stunning, they make the design look stunning, they make the animations look stunning, they make the sound look amazing, everything, the atmosphere, everything. The arena is beautiful, but it just seems like the bosses just die in like a minute or 2 minutes, But again, this is such early times in Soulframe that it doesn't mean this is how it's going to be. So this is just an early thing, a little bit of a rant from me. And I'm hoping that if they do have a look at it again there, or when I do play it, the bosses are a bit harder, but we will have to see. That is my rant on Soulframe. That's it. Otherwise, everything is looking amazing. And that pretty much covers everything for Tennocon and Warframe and Soulframe and everything. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts about Soulframe as well as Warframe, and what your thoughts about Tau and how everything's going to unpack there. And again, let me know what's going to be the next worst Warframe. I'm actually intrigued to see what the community thinks about that. So let me know in the comments below. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed Tennocon, and I'll see you all in the next video.